Welcome. Another video. We join one another to receive a message. I am the messenger in this case. Maybe you're here to receive this message. It's a full circle. We're all together in this. I'm here to talk about a few ways we can alleviate stress, depression and anxiety. Now it's not easy because dealing with what I would consider demons is a battle of the gods, you know. It's literally us battling with the devil. When the negativity comes, we must fight it with our godlike powers. If we don't know what our godlike powers are, because we've never been taught what they are, or never had to access them, or never accessed them full stop, then that's going to already put you in a deficit when coming to grapple with these facts of life, with depression and anxiety. Now, holistically dealing with something means doing it naturally, because of course in a synthetic world that we live in, on the whole, nature still proves to be our most dearest friend, and to return to her, Mother Nature, is the most wise move you can make to really healing yourself, and completely too, sustainably and completely. The things I'm going to talk about are natural remedies. They do not involve synthetic properties. Instead, they are summoned from within and supplemented from without. Now, when I say without, that brings me on to my first holistic step to curing anxiety and depression, and that will be fasting. Now, typically you would have heard fasting being practiced in Buddhism or Islam, Ramadan. Now, I want you to take away any sort of religious notion to fasting, and I want to put it in a primal sense. Okay? Once upon a time, we would have commonly faced moments and days without any food. Now, this would have put our body under a certain level of pressure to summon energy from deeper within us to keep fighting and keep going, to survive. Now that we are always fed, always watered, it is wise of you to recreate a fasted state. Look up the details of what a fast can do for your body, but it forces your body to eat up the dead cells and rejuvenate cells and increase cells, and basically, all in all, to put it simply, is very much a healing process. To go without food for 2, 3 days, 4 days is a really amazing thing you can do for your body. Again, fasting is not easy. It takes discipline and willpower and strength. Do it. Second holistic way of curing depression and anxiety is becoming very vulnerable with yourself and perhaps others about what is troubling you. Now that means bringing light to your issue, shining light on it, talking about it with others, writing about it. This is a powerful practice because, of course, you will be recognizing it as something real instead of something that only lives on within you. Now, through doing this, you can learn to understand that you are not alone in this process, bringing you comfort in understanding, and also it then produces honesty, which therefore from honesty comes natural solution. Because if you are honest about what you're going through, you can then start to receive signs as of how to cure it. But first you have to announce it. You have to almost announce the bear that's being poked. Now, step 3 would be nature immersion. Now, what I'm doing pretty much right now, just because I have technology around, doesn't mean I'm not still very much so a primal being or still a human being, you know, that comes from the earth, you know, that is a natural being. That doesn't take anything away from all the technology and everything. It only has superficial infliction on me, on us. So when you come back into nature and ground yourself, that's why people call it grounding, is because you're touching the ground with the soul of your foot. With your soul, you are coming in, you are immersed in nature. And that just means a forest, a woodland, a jungle, a field, preferably somewhere with a lot of life and trees and bushes and insects. These are really healing properties to be visual, to be seen and felt and heard. Bring peace to these moments and try and meditate through it. And I mean, spend an hour, 2 hours alone in a forest. I prescribe you this. Spend 1 hour in nature every day for a week. And I say spend time in nature. I'm afraid I have to say that because we live in an industrial world where we live within concrete and buildings. So go back to where your natural habitat is and spend time in your natural habitat, doing natural habitat shit, like climbing trees and running around bare feet and doing cartwheels and eating and drinking little snacks and fruits, you know, picking berries and shit. That's it, man. That's who we are. The medicine of nature immersion. Go back to where we came from and spend time there. See how you feel. 4. Now, I'm only giving us numbers to structuralize my video, but really there's an infinite amount of ways you can actually heal yourself. But this tip number 4 consists of, again, like a fasting state. It doesn't have to be like complete removal of food from the diet for a temporary time, but I mean lessering the amount of food you intake and changing it to more hydration-based methods of consuming. For example, herbal teas, watermelon, pineapple, melon in general, mangoes, oranges, peaches, pears, cherries and berries. Now all these things are hydrating. They can be absorbed by the body and then in that case hydrate the body properly on a structural level, not just on a superficial level. I mean your body can actually absorb the nutrients from the liquid. So go into a more hydration based way of eating and see how you feel. Make it lighter. Yes, light foods. And now finally, tip number 5 is the sun. Now the sun is one of the most glorious thing we have on Earth. Ironically, on Earth, the best thing we have is not even on Earth. And I say the best thing, it's subjective, obviously, is my opinion, but the sun is the life force of everything. So yes, it is actually the best thing we have on Earth, because it's the ultimate star, our star that we need. But also the psychological impacts and the spiritual impacts and physical impacts that it has. Firstly, I'm out here, I'm getting a tan firstly, which is beautiful. It makes your skin golden brown and making you innately feel and look healthier, activating cell reproduction and the processing of vitamin D, and many more neurological happenings. I couldn't name them all. Now look, all the tips I've described can all be integrated to one another. From the journaling, to the fasting, to the light foods, to the nature immersion, to the sun, can all be done together at the same time. What I'm saying is coming from experience, first-hand experience, and also out of love for you. Because if I met you, I would love you like I love the people that I meet in my life anyway. You know? I've learned that I love humans in general and beings. I love beings, but humans are my most familiar, and dogs in fact. But this comes from knowing that there is suffering out there, and as somebody who has suffered, who does suffer, I want to know that people are okay, because the system doesn't advise any of these things. But I find that in your own way, rebelling is the best way of going about life. Everything else seems bullshit, you know, or at least bullshitty, and no one wants bullshitty. You know, we don't want to settle for that. when you can curate your own reality as of how you want to. Now, bringing beautiful, enchanted ways back into your life, you remove the static suit that we wear daily in the cities, and you can come back to being your natural self. You know, the one that gets dirt under the nails and the dirt on their feet and cuts and bruises. Who cares about all of that stuff? The fact that I even got to list that, that's just like what comes with being up against nature. You get bigger injuries living in the city, I tell you. Inside. Peace out.